This video presentation is made possible by Brewster Services Group.
All right, at 6:30, I'd like to call the Loudon City Council July workshop to order and welcome everybody that's here tonight. We have some, I think, that's joined by Zoom as well. So I want to thank those that's joined us virtually as well. First item on the agenda is citizens input. So is there anyone here in the audience that needs to address the council?
Councilmember Bivens is on Zoom, so Attorney Pryor, we revert to the roll call vote if she is not present.
We're not voting.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
That's okay. So is there anyone here that would like to address council? Okay, just come and state your name, please. Make sure you speak into the mic because I think we had some complaints that people couldn't hear virtually in the previous meeting.
We had another citizen who was going to speak, Roger Nash, but he was delayed, so I guess I'll just, we spoke before the meeting, so I can just speak on his behalf right now. I share similar concerns. My name is Kristen Rinke, and I had a question about this agenda tonight, whether this will be the full scope of what's discussed tonight, or if anyone here on the council or Tammy virtually planned on making any motions to add anything to it.
As far as I know, that's the agenda for tonight.
Okay. The city charter, there's a lot of things going around online that I received some emails and things, and I just started having some questions. And looking up that the city charter states that either the mayor or 3 council members have to make a request for a special called meeting. So I wanted to ask Mayor Harris, was it you that called the special called meeting?
No, ma'am.
Are you able to tell the public which 3 council members requested the special called meeting?
Yeah, I think that was Councilmember Brewster, Councilmember James, and Councilmember Bivens requested that.
And it's not very clear in the charter as to why a special called meeting would then be canceled. I know on July 2nd, the special called meeting was posted on the line saying it was due to, hi Roger, if you don't want to speak, it's okay, due to COVID-19 local issues. I follow our friend, County Mayor Buddy Bradshaw, and he posts every day the Loudon COVID-19 cases. And on July 7th, he said that there were 70 active cases in Loudon County, which was trending down at the time. Just yesterday, Mayor Bradshaw reported that there were confirmed or probable cases of 328. So that's a pretty big jump between 70 and 328. I'm wondering whether the cancellation of the special called meeting from July 7th, was that mandated or supported by the Loudon County Health Department Director, Teresa Harrell?
To my knowledge, she was not contacted.
So that wasn't a mandate from the health department?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did all 3 members that requested it have to then withdraw and say that that wasn't an issue? Was it a mayoral decision?
Attorney Fry, I think it was if one...
Yeah, if there was no longer 3 council members requesting the special called meeting, then it would not, they wouldn't have what charter required.
Okay. Is the public allowed to know? I haven't seen anything on the city website, Facebook, anything, and it's not seemingly here going to be discussed on the agenda, so I was just wondering if we're able to know who no longer wanted that special call meeting. Just you? So then there were still 2 that were still wanting it? Councilman James or Councilman Bivens?
Chris, you need to take over. She's acting like a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, I mean, she's entitled to ask questions. The council is not obligated to answer any of them. This is just for her to...
My confusion is because with that jump from 70 active cases to now today or yesterday, 328.
Was 328 active cases or?
328 is not
It
active.
said confirmed probable. I'm just getting it from Buddy Bradshaw.
That's confirmed.
Okay.
It's probably not active, but yeah.
So we can agree though that it's been trending upwards since where we were July 7th. So my question then is, if it's because of COVID-19 health issues, why we're here tonight?
Why are you here? You didn't have to come.
I was planning on coming to the other one as well before. And in fact, that was another question now that you brought it up. I was here early, I think it was on Thursday actually, because there were what I had known to be hundreds of people interested in attending and speaking out and asking questions about what the meeting agenda was for that special called meeting, as well as some people who wanted to set up video cameras. So I actually came in here during city council or city hall hours wanting to count seats and making sure that all these concerned citizens would be able to actually have a place, or if they couldn't, they could come in and then leave and somebody else could come in. People could come in here with cameras, whatever it might be. And everything seemed to be set up just fine. And then actually saw Councilman James and you, Mr. Brewster, were also in the parking lot and then came in behind me. So I just, from personal experience, seeing both of you come into City Hall, and then curiously later that afternoon, it was closed due to COVID issues when no one gave me an indication as to why, because the room seemed to be set up.
Are we supposed to call you on every move we make?
No, but you have my number if you would like to.
Well, I don't understand. Are we supposed to give you updates on our day-to-day activities? I don't get it. I don't know what you're asking.
I'm asking as to if COVID-19 local issues, if it was truly a health and safety concern to cancel that special called meeting, if that was mandated by the health department, but I guess it wasn't, and that if it wasn't, what's the determination on a meeting-by-meeting basis to make that call? Because there are a lot of people who, canceled their plans, changed them, or I know just wanting to make sure that if this is truly the only agenda items, maybe would have showed up. But
I don't understand your question.
are those local issues of COVID-19, have those been sufficiently addressed to why we're meeting now here today? Citizens are wondering whether it's safe to attend these meetings if it wasn't deemed proper to do so on the 7th.
Well, we were expecting a large turnout at that special call meeting, so that was some legitimate concerns. We don't have that group here tonight. We're within the guidelines that CDC has put out. So. And
then I guess the question of just, collective brainstorming, if there is something on the agenda or another special called meeting or whatever it is, citizens' interest of whether there's a light coming in or a development or whatever might provoke a lot of interest in people wanting to speak up, are we prepared to move it to an alternate venue? Or, where's the determination so that we don't have to keep scheduling meetings, canceling them, all these things? And citizens just want to know that, it's for safety reasons. So.
We take all those issues into consideration.
Yes, and we did this one as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Nash?
Evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. I stood up here about 3 meetings ago and indicated that there was a lot of animosity. Do you remember that, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I do.
Between the city council and our city manager. And as a result of last council meeting and also the 7 July meeting that was canceled, I see this animosity still going on, and it's unproductive. And that's just me. I like to see, if you would stand, how many other citizens like me are tired of this animosity? Please stand up. Council members, these are the people that you're elected to serve, not your own personal agenda or anything like that, or to better yourself. Ms. Ross, stand up. Mrs. Ross, I'm sorry.
Mayor?
What award did you just recently win?
He's supposed to address it.
I had the honor of being named Teacher of the Year for Loudon County Schools.
These are the people, this is the type of citizen you guys are wanting to run out of town. My question is why? You, sir, said you wanted to split the job of Mr. Ross because you thought it was too much to handle. Have you ever held a city manager job? Have you ever held a city planner job?
No.
Have you ever held a utility board manager job?
Address your questions to the mayor.
Yeah, just address.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Pardon me, sir. So if you
can walk in here and take over the meeting.
I don't see how somebody who's never held those positions could possibly say it's more than Mr. Ross can handle. That's just my personal opinion. And I'm going to say it again, and I hope this hits home. We're tired of the animosity of this board, this council showing towards City Manager Ross. It's unproductive. It's totally unproductive. And I'll have more to say at the next meeting if it's an agenda item, a lot more, such as, would you please state, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, there is a Tennessee law called the Tennessee Open Meetings Act, which says that council members can't discuss things outside of the meeting or the workshop. I'd like to know if that's been done in reference to firing City Manager Ross, if that's been done at restaurants, somebody's backdoor meeting at somebody's home or something like that. If that's been done, we will take it to the circuit court and have it stopped. Any actions that come out of that. That's all I have to say, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Anyone that's here in the audience? Anyone virtually? Anyone on Zoom? Ms. Curtis can unmute you if you have a comment. No? Okay. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for your comments. We'll carry on with our agenda items. First item for consideration is budget amendments for fiscal year 2019-2020. Manager Ross?
Yes, this happens every year. At the end of every year, we present a list of budget amendments to move monies to coincide with the 2019-2020 fiscal year budget. These are end of the year tidy up items, highlights of which, and these are the largest ticket items, is fire department overtime and equipment repairs in the amount of $17,700, grant disbursements in the amount of $32,600, lump sum retirement disbursements in the amount of $12,000, and a drug fund police vehicle purchase of $29,190. Our finance director, Nicole Curtis, has prepared an itemization of those items, including much smaller items for your review here at tonight's workshop.
Okay. Does anyone on council have any questions about these for either Mr. Ross or Ms. Curtis? Explanation of any of these? Like I say, it happens every year. There's always some that come up this time every year to close the books.
These aren't new expenditures. These are expenditures that have already occurred. This is backward looking. Mm-hmm. For example, the police vehicle purchase out of the drug fund, I believe that took place in October.
This is just to clean up the housekeeping items, basically.
We have the resolution to purchase the vehicle, but a budget amendment is an ordinance. It's 2 readings, and it's something we clean up at the end of the year.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that? Any questions?
I do have one question.
Okay.
According to our budget that you passed out, we only collected $9,100 in drug fund last year. Where do we fill that gap? Is it another fund the rest of the money comes out of?
The drug fund had a fund balance sufficient to cover the purchase of this vehicle, and so we reduced the fund balance last year to purchase it. And again, that was something that was approved by resolution by council to do so. The budget ordinance was decided to go through this process later in the year. But the purchasing the vehicle, you approved that resolution last October, and it came out of the fund balance of the drug fund.
Did that answer your question, Councilman Brewster?
It came out of the savings account, if you will, of the drug fund.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so that'll be on our agenda in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Next item is Public Works traffic light at intersection Carter Machine Road and Highway 72, right outside the window here.
Yes, upon receipt of complaints about the timing of traffic loops at the intersection of Carter Machine Road and Highway 72, Public Works Department did request that Progression Electric LLC evaluate and possibly repair the signalization sequence there. That estimate is $3,300, and we hope to have them out there this week I did speak to that contractor this morning on the telephone, and they said they could be out there by Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. Keep in mind, this is not part of the CMAC traffic signalization grant. This is separate of that.
It's just normal maintenance.
Right. That will take place later this year, hopefully, 2021. Any questions about that?
I want to ask something.
Sure.
What is the complaint?
Councilman Brewster, I think, had been getting some complaints, maybe.
Yeah, what is
The
the
timer's not working on it.
Okay, well, tell me what you mean by the timing.
You have sensors in the road, the sensors are gone. So it automatically reverts back to a 3-minute hold.
Is that going every way, every which direction?
No, just only carding machine.
Oh, just going straight across.
Well, my concern is that if it's changed from the way it is, I've been sitting here watching it while we've had the meeting right now. And so what does tend to happen is traffic backs up on Card Machine Road and going back into the shopping center. But if we stop the traffic more frequently on the highway, we're going to have traffic back on the highway because, it's a whole lot more dense on the highway. Now, on the eastbound side, coming from the interstate, probably wouldn't be much of a problem, but the concern I've got is we start backing up traffic and we have all these outlets, going back, in other words, on the westbound side. We've got all these outlets here. And so that's the concern I've got. And I'm not, I guess, in a position to get a lot of complaints, but I've not had anybody complain about that traffic light. Matter of fact, me personally, when I look at it, I think it's operating the way it should if it's set up on time. So what it's doing, it's using the time that's elapsed to continue to let the traffic flow on Highway 72, which I think is important. And then, it gives you an opportunity to let some traffic out on the side streets.
So here's the situation. I've watched it, and I've sat in the church parking lot and watched it. There'll be a car pull up to the stoplight here, and it'll hold them there, and there's no traffic whatsoever going down 72. They'll sit there for 3 minutes. It's got the strips in the road. They're just broken, I guess. So if we repair it, one car pulls up or it changes, it goes, it automatically reverts back to 72.
Okay.
It's just a sensor thing.
I think something I've noticed, Byron, I've noticed it more than once. When you've got traffic stop going both ways, you've got a turning lane that'll let you into Food City. If there's anybody in the turning lane at the Food City, and they turn for the Food City side and you're wanting to turn on the Card Machine Road, it will not give you a turn signal.
I have seen that.
It doesn't give you one.
I have seen that.
And that's not supposed to be that way.
Right.
Supposed to light them both up.
I have seen that.
That's what I thought he was talking about, because I hadn't noticed the other, but I did notice that a lot.
Well, I just wanted to make certain that we weren't going to more frequently stop the traffic on Highway 72, because like I said, it's not that big concern.
I don't know what they'll find they are, but I know it has to.
Well, all that'll be replaced when they get the new light.
Yeah,
It'll be better, but
sure.
still, this will fix it in the interim.
Well, Ty, they've already looked at it and determined what it was.
They're going to come out and watch it one evening this week. I wasn't privy to the prior conversation had in April between the contractor and Mr. Ellis Scruggs. Ellis Scruggs is no longer with the organization. I was just playing catch up.
It's on the estimate they sent out what the problem was.
Yeah, something about a loop or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand.
Yeah.
In other words, what you're saying is the sensors aren't working, and it's just strictly operating off of time.
Time.
Okay. All right.
That's good input, Chief. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or question? Councilmember Bivens, you have any? We don't want to forget about you over there. You have any comments?
No, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so that will show up on our...
Well, it's just more of a matter of information.
I guess, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If it becomes a problem with in the street maintenance department, talking about money-wise, we may address it as a budget amendment later in the year.
Okay. Next item is Parks and Rec tree removal.
Yes. next three items on your agenda, I think would be best addressed by our Parks and Rec Director, Mark Carroll. He's got some problems at Lions Club Park. He's also putting an application for a tourism grant, and he wants to promote Riverfest, and I think it'd be best to hear his words at this time.
He's kind of bashful, but we'll get him up here.
Takes me a while to get started. We have a tree problem at Lions Club Park. We've had probably for the last couple of years, maybe even longer than that. We've been losing trees 2 and 3 a year, and it just got a little bit ahead of us. The flooding has created some problems along the creek, undermining the root basin, and has killed a few trees. We've lost 3 live trees down there that were healthy, just good oak trees that we had to remove. They fell across the creek. Now we have about 25 trees total that need to be removed. They're dangerous. They're huge. They're big trees.
That's in the park and not just on the riverbank.
That's correct. That's it's probably 3 or 4 on the creek bank itself, but the rest of them are just scattered throughout the park. It'll make a big difference out there, but the trees do not have limbs on them, so we're not taking out any shade or anything like that. We did seek to get 3 quotes, and we received 2 quotes, and I think the city manager may have included those in your packet. J&M Mowing was the lower quote. To remove some of the stumps will remain along the creek bank itself, and that's for erosion control, but the ones that are in the park system itself, they'll remove the stumps as well. And
any questions about that before Mark moves on to the...
I think you have the cost there, Mayor, with you. I don't know if I have that. No, the J&M mowing was $15,610. B&S tree service was $17,025. And then we had one that did not wish to bid on this project.
Okay. Any questions about tree removal for Mark?
This is not a budgeted item. It's something we'll have to...
Oh, because it's something that it's not in your budget.
That's correct.
Okay. Tourism grant?
We recently were told that we could apply for the tourism grant that we received a couple of years ago. Ty and Rachel Baker worked on it to receive funding for the Lyric Theater downtown. Looking at the grant, we felt like that there was an opportunity to secure some funding for signage to bring folks, once they get off the interstate, to get closer to Loudon, and we start telling them what to expect, what's happening in Loudon, the events that we're preparing for, so on and so forth, and also with a wayfinding sign at the intersection of Highway 72 and Mulberry. We've talked about the wayfinding sign for 3 years, I guess, at least, probably longer than that. I think it would be a beautiful attraction to our downtown area. Most of you have seen what Lenore City has done. They've placed one on each corner of their development there on Highway 321 and Highway 11. There's been a lot of good comments about how nice those signs look. And I think it just looks wonderful when you come into Loudon and pull up to that intersection. People that are passing through, they're just going from here to 411, they see that. It adds so much to our town. It adds integrity, in my opinion, to have that sign there. And we think that it would draw people into our community from our sign at the municipal park, and I'll explain that one better. When they get down here, man, this is a neat little community. We like this. We think we like it here, and people will come and visit. The one at Municipal Park would be an LED sign. We haven't designed it yet. This thing just came up about 3 weeks ago. I do have some copies here of a LED sign. It's at Athens Municipal Park, and it's very informative. It tells you everything that's going on inside the park, along with what's happening inside the city of Athens that is related to Parks and Rec. They get a lot of attention from that sign, and a lot of people have become dependent on that sign to know what's happening. The grant is a maximum of $150,000 with a $75,000 match, and we would take that from the Recreation Fund if we are awarded the grant. It's a long shot. Tourism grants are more historic, doing things like that, but it is an option. It's probably down there, option number 13, to do this. It just really depends on how many communities apply for these grants, on whether we'll be successful or not. The grant will be announced end of July. I think it's 29th of July.
Questions about the tourism grant for Mark? I know we got everything going in the mail. I think it's just turned in.
It has to be submitted by the 15th. That's Wednesday of this week, and we're pretty well have everything going our direction.
Okay.
Fireworks, last but not least, and most of you know we didn't have the opportunity to do the 4th of July fireworks, and so people are getting anxious. This will be our 10th year of Loudon Riverfest, and we do plan to do the fireworks. We met the utility board earlier to secure the funding for half the fireworks. We actually do have the other half of the fireworks in our budget, so we're not asking for money. We're just talking about tonight to kind of get the juices flowing again, that Riverfest will happen, and that you can start sharing that. There may be some changes come along. We don't know what the CDC will pass on to us that we'll have to enforce, or we'll have to do between now and then, but we feel like we could at least do the fireworks show. People may have to remain in their cars. They may have to remain away from the site, but we plan to do the fireworks show as it stands right now. That's August the 22nd.
August 22nd?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I haven't had this much opportunity to talk in a long time, so I stumbled through that.
Any questions about fireworks? And
How long the show is going to be?
15 to 18 minutes long. It's a little bit...
Who's going to do it for you?
We use a company out of, well, I couldn't tell you the company because they get the bid for the fireworks, but it's G&A out of Loudon City that gets the fireworks for us. I can't say purchase because some of the fireworks they have in stock, and it's a Class C type firework. It's a consumer grade that any of you guys can go and purchase. It's a little less boom and a little less height restriction, but we get a lot more firework for the money.
And you've used them before. This
We
is
did
the
for
same.
10, 11 years. They go through the procedure. They go to the fire chief, get their permit, they're insured, and basically it's a good show.
How much more would a 30-minute show cost?
Oh my goodness, probably double that money, but people go to sleep with 18 minutes. Unless you live there.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Next item is public safety. I guess we got a vehicle.
Yeah, Chief Webb have requested surplus of a 1993 Jeep Cherokee. It's got 116,886 miles on it, and it's just at the request of the chief, be sold on Gov Deals or as salvage.
Okay. Anything you need to add to that, Chief Webb?
As back when Ronald Brown was our chief, that was his vehicle.
Okay.
And about 15 years ago, I traded on the Crown Vic for it because we at the time, all our patrol vehicles used to be two-wheel drive, real-wheel drive vehicles. And we usually, when it snowed, we'd have a vehicle we responded. And over the years now, we've got SUVs and pickup trucks, and we don't need it anymore. It's just set up there and deteriorated.
So it's just in the way now.
We're trying to clean up some overseas vehicles and stuff, and, we're trying to keep from too much junk piling up there at public works. And it's really just deteriorated to the point where we have no use for it.
Okay.
I don't know anybody else here in the city that has any use for it.
Any questions about the surplus vehicle? Okay. Closing comments. Pretty short agenda. Closing comments. Vice Mayor Dixon, you have anything to bring up? Councilmember Brewster, you have anything? Councilmember James?
I'm good.
Councilmember Bivens?
I'd just like to let everyone know that we are having our sanitation committee meeting tomorrow at 6:30 at the Annex building. There will be some discussion on the purchase of Santec by Republic. I think they're going to be discussing that there, so that should be a rather interesting conversation, hopefully. So.
Okay. Better pack a lunch for that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manager Ross, you have anything else to bring forward?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Attorney Fry, you have anything? Megan, we cover everything for you? Okay, if there's no other questions, this meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.
This video presentation is made possible by Brewster Services Group.